Hello my dear learners, I am Dr. Pawan Kumar Shukla, Professor in Electronics and Communication Engineering, RKGIT Ghaziabad. I was discussing the concept of antenna array, and in my some of the last lectures I was discussing the antenna array of 2-point sources. The different cases by taking two isotropic point sources for an antenna array system, we have discussed some of the results in the form of radiation pattern. We have already mentioned and drawn the radiation pattern and compared that how an antenna array system can be useful for the different communication applications for getting greater directivity or for getting better directional characteristics. Because nowadays all the antennas, all the systems, all those specific array systems which are used for enhancing the directivity of a communication system for getting better signals from the free space or for transmitting the beamed signals, beamed information in the free space, it is very much desirable to have a better directional antennas. So, antenna array is a form of the radiating system in which we get the better directional characteristics. So, we start today the topic of antenna array system which are having n elements. How these n elements can be configured for an antenna array system? As I have previously mentioned that in a uniform linear array system, all the elements are spaced equally, means the distance between all the elements remains same, means the distance between source 1 to 2 is d, then the same distance will be between 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5 and so on. In this figure it is shown very clearly that n number of elements are placed here and these numbering is shown like this. At the origin the element number 1 is placed and then from d distance element number 2, from d distance element number 3, from d distance element number 4 and so on. So, the last element is mentioned as n minus 1. So, the total number of elements which are placed in this antenna array system are n. Now, the distant point P, this is the far field point and this far field point is placed at the far distance from this antenna array system and all the elements are having the different distance from the distant point P. So, we can see that all these distances which are shown in this diagram are having the different phase difference, the different path difference among each other. Means point source number 1, point source number 2, these 2 point sources and the radiations which are originating from these different point sources are reaching to the distant point P at the different time intervals. So, obviously, there must be a path difference, subsequently the phase difference and finally, we get these phase differences among all these point sources in the resultant electric field strength at the distant point P. Here we have considered a uniform linear array of n isotropic point sources with all the individual elements spaced equally at the same distances from each other, and all the elements are fed with the currents equal in magnitude and uniform progressive phase shift along the line as shown in the given figure. This is an example of uniform linear array. So, by using the resultant field strength formula, we calculate the ET. ET means the total field strength at the distant point P due to the point sources 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to number n. And it can be written like this, where ET is the simple overall field strength, and here we have multiplied the factor e to the power j psi into this resultant field strength ET. Otherwise, simply we can see that the resultant field strength can be written like this only, where ET is equal to E naught e to the power j 0 plus E naught e to the power j psi plus E naught e to the power twice of j psi plus E naught e to the power thrice j psi and so on, and it reaches up to E naught into e to the power n minus 1 j psi. Because all the elements are placed in a coordinate system where the first element is placed at the origin. So, there is no any phase difference, there is no any path difference, and it is the field strength at origin point can be given as E naught e to the power j 0. So, simply the field strength is E naught only. After that, point number 2, point source number 3, point source number 4, these are having the final the other field strengths like this, E naught e to the power j psi plus E naught e to the power twice j psi plus and so on. This can be written as this, ET is equal to E naught common, and this is the final. So, if we multiply this equation by e to the power j psi like this, here we have multiplied e to the power j psi into this one, and we get the equation like this. Why we have done it? We have done it to calculate the resultant field strength only, and this resultant field strength can be given like this. When we subtract the equation from this one, if we put this equation number 1 and we put this equation number 2, and when we subtract the equation number 1 minus equation number 2, then we get this result. As all the things cannot be written in the slides, so I have mentioned here that the previous equations where the equation number 1 where E t is equal to E naught 1 plus e to the power j psi plus e to the power 2 j psi plus and so on e to the power n minus 1 j psi. This is the equation number 1, and when we multiplied this equation to the e to the power j psi factor, then we get this equation, and this equation is named as equation number 2, and when we subtract the equation number 2 from equation number 1, then we get this result. And by using this particular formulations, this is the thing. And finally, after some mathematical analysis, some mathematical assumptions, some mathematical formulations. This is a sort of complicated calculation of this using. We get the result in this form, and this is known as antenna array factor. Et upon E naught is equal to AF, and that is equal to sin n psi by 2 upon sin psi by 2. It is a very important formula for calculating the different directions of pattern minima, because in the previous lectures, as I have mentioned, for the antenna array system and its radiation pattern for 2-point sources, the directions cannot be changed. When the number of elements are increased in an antenna array system, the number of side lobes, the number of minor lobes are also increased in a simple uniform linear array. And obviously, when the number of minor lobes, number of side lobes are increased, then their directions are also a very important factor to describe the radiation pattern of the n element array system. That is why this particular formula is very important, because it will provide the different directions of minor lobes, and on the basis of those directions the direction of major lobe will also be affected. When the side lobes are increased, the major lobe becomes sharper. Major lobe becomes sharper means the beam width, the gain of the array system is increased at the cost of increased number of minor lobes. This is the basic theme of an antenna array system. There may be many choices to adopt the different configurations of the different patterns in antenna array system. We will study later. So, anyway, now we will concentrate our study on this formula. Means what this formula says, that Et upon E naught, Et is the resultant field strength at the distant point P due to n number of point sources which are placed at a coordinate system 1 to n, and which are having the distance d and having the uniform progressive phase shift, and the phase is given as psi is equal to k d cos phi plus alpha. This is a general expression for the phase between the different elements which are placed along a straight line for making an n element array system. So, and E naught is the field strength at a distant point P due to point source number 1, or you can say because at the origin the first element was placed. So, the magnitude of the field strength is given in terms of E naught only. If psi is equal to 0, the minimum value of Et is determined obviously. So, simply we can see that Et max is equal to E naught n. Thus, the maximum value of Et is n times the field from a single source, and to normalize the field pattern, the maximum value of each equal to unity. The normalized field pattern is given by this. Normalized field pattern is given by this, and this formula will decide the different directions of the pattern minor lobes. and the normalized array factor can be given as sin n psi by 2 upon n psi by 2. Broadside array case, when we put the values of different maxima, minima and the other points in the radiation pattern, we have to calculate the different directions. And how is it possible? An array is said to be broadside if its maximum direction occurs in the direction perpendicular to the array axis. In broadside array, individual elements are equally spaced along a line and each element fed with current of equal magnitude and phase. It means the phase factor, that psi, when this psi, the total phase difference of the fields at distant point phi from adjacent sources is given by psi is equal to k d cos phi plus alpha, then in the broadside array case this alpha is always 0, because all the elements are excited with the same magnitude and same phase. So, there is no any phase difference in the currents, but the phase difference due to their spacing will always reflect in terms of k d cos phi. So, the normalized array factor for n elements is given as sin n psi by 2 upon n sin psi by 2. Major lobe directions, major lobe directions, as I have already told you that when we put a simplest kind of antenna array system, the major lobe directions will remain same. Means for the broadside array case, the maxima will always lie in its perpendicular direction, because this is the basic property of an broadside array case. And in this broadside array case, the direction of maximum radiation coincides with the perpendicular directions of the array axis as well as perpendicular to the plane consisting of these elements. In broadside array source, the phase should be like alpha is equal to 0 and psi is equal to 0 for maxima, and this condition must be satisfied when the cos phi is equal to 0. It means phi maximum is only in 90° direction or 270 direction, as I have already explained to you. So, now for getting the different minor lobe directions, null positions means minor lobe directions. To find the nulls of the array, the resultant equation is set to 0, and how it is calculated. So, it is calculated by using this phenomena sin n psi by 2 is equal to 0. We leave the denominator portion, we focus on the numerator portion. It means the denominator cannot be equal to 0 in that condition where the numerator stands for its maximum value, for its minimum value and for other values. So, minor lobes maxima, how can we get it? And we can get it like this only. Sin n psi by 2 is equal to plus minus 1, and when this value occupies, this condition occurs, in that case we can calculate the different directions in the different forms. Simply we can put here n by 2 psi, where psi is equal to k d cos phi plus alpha, and s, when phi is equal to phi s means this is the maxima direction for the side lobe, and here we put the value of n by 2 k d cos phi s plus alpha is equal to plus minus 2 s plus 1 into pi by 2, and finally we get the value of different directions as like this. this is the beam width of major lobe, and beam width of the major lobe can be calculated like this. What is the beam width of the major lobe? Beam width of the major lobe, it is specified in terms of half power beam width as well as BWFN, and here we have specified the beam width between first nulls concept. BWFN, it means this is the diagram where we have shown the BWFN, beam width between first nulls, where the adjacent two side lobes are originating. The minima directions of the side lobes have been calculated, and these directions, by using these directions we can calculate the beam width of the major lobe where n number of elements are used for making an antenna array system. So, twice of the phi b, this one, this direction is the minima of first minor lobe, and as we have already calculated this angle, so we can calculate that 90 minus theta, and this twice of 90 minus theta is equal to BWFN, and this is given in this formula. So, you can calculate and emphasize the content, the mathematical formulations, mathematical modeling to get the beam width of the different directions. These are some of the formulations which are very much useful to get the results to solve the numerical problems, and all these formulations are described in my previous lectures. So, you can concentrate on those formulations for simplifying the numerical problems, as well as these are important to design the different antenna array system by taking the different parameters like number of point sources in the n element antenna array system, how much number of minor lobes can be configured are present in the radiation pattern of n element array system. So, there are the basic things which are required to study and analyze in the antenna array system. So, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope and expect that in some of my other lectures, next lectures, you will study some more fruitful and complicated designs of the antenna array system for getting more knowledge about this particular topic. So, thank you very much for giving so much time. Thank you.